What's up guys, Houndish here with a quick early upload. I want to talk about some Destiny 2 stuff. We're going to take a quick preview of who is currently leading the faction rally in case you guys are interested in that. I wanted to give some clarification as well about Deej and where he's been recently. We've got a few developer updates about some interesting stuff, including the upcoming Iron Banner and a few other bits, so we'll break it down in this video. Before we go any further though, this video is brought to you by GameFlip, a community of over 2 million gamers where you can buy and sell games, collectibles, accessories and more. GameFlip has one of the widest selections of games and titles in their marketplace. You'll find Destiny amongst a host of other titles, including PUBG, CSGO and many more. Buyers and sellers can communicate in real time, and GameFlip guarantee that you'll get the items as described or your money back. On top of this, the first 200 people to use the code on screen now will receive $1 in GameFlip credits, so if you're interested, the links and details will be in the description below. So starting out, I wanted to talk about the faction rally that's going on right now and discuss who is currently leading the faction rally. Now this comes from Charlemagne Bot. They use the API to see which factions players have actually represented and turned in reputation for. Last time the faction rally came around, this bot got it pretty much absolutely bang on. So according to Charlemagne's bot, FWC have 115,000. I'm not sure whether this is tokens or ranks. Dead Orbit has 117,000. In at number 1, we have New Monarchy currently with 193,000. So according to this, if this is correct, it has been correct in the past, New Monarchy have an incredibly strong lead right now. And that isn't necessarily entirely surprising because I think New Monarchy have probably the most appealing gear and ornaments this time around, and that's probably the major reason that we're seeing these totals right here. If Bungie had included a whole bunch of the new weapons, things could be a little bit different right there. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think this is correct? Personally, I think it is correct and New Monarchy are going to win at this rate. You'll have to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Next though, I wanted to talk about the community managers. So there was recently a post for a new community manager at Bungie. A lot of people speculated that someone may be leaving, and Cosmo confirmed that nobody is actually leaving the company. Now someone said on Twitter, from all of these tweets, you're starting to sound like you're transitioning away from Bungie. Are you on your way to a new job? And Deej said, I've been at Bungie for 7 years with no signs of stepping away anytime soon. Day to day, I'm working more to evolve our customer service and communications. That takes me one step away from the very front lines of the community, so I'm being succeeded by better, newer blood. So basically, that is what Deej is up to. He's doing slightly more background stuff, kind of working on the systems for customer services and communications with the community. This is where there was an interesting Reddit post that DMG replied to. So the post said, Fortnite developers openly respond to community, identifying bugs within hours of posting. Bungie, please let your team talk with us. DMG said, we do have a process in place for this. Bungie.net help forums. The player support team is actively investigating player reports of issues, forwarding information to appropriate teams for fixes and such. We're actually gaining 2 more team members in the next few weeks, and we're excited to have more coverage. That said, when issues are identified and confirmed, further findings are collected and published through the What's Up doc with various Bungie help tweets to spread awareness. I'll look to see how we can increase this communication moving forward to keep players in the loop. So with them employing new community people and what Deej and then DMG are actually saying here, it sounds like they're going through a bit of a fundamental kind of rework, a look at how they can communicate more, which is definitely going to be a good thing. But the real challenge is always aligning that with the development team and actually being able to provide information. But a commonly discussed issue is the shaders and being able to functionally mass delete shaders. So someone said, please Chris Barrett, a functionality to dismantle all shaders in a single slot would save some time. Chris Barrett said, we'll be posting an article explaining the technical challenge and why we haven't fixed it, along with when you can expect a solution. And somebody said, something that you can't fix is called a poor design choice and it shouldn't be met with excuses, but rather a rework from the ground up. Chris Barrett said, I was just offering transparency about this particular issue and why it isn't a trivial fix. I agree, it needs to be resolved. So it looks like Bungie are actually going to have to come out and post a justification for why there isn't currently a fix. They did say in one of the recent updates that this is something they're not expecting to tackle until the end of this year. So it's actually going to take a very long time for, that kind of functionality to be in the game. Who knows, it may even require a complete rework of the shader system. Perhaps that's just going to be the easier way to deal with it, given the current feedback about the shader system in general. Up next though, somebody spoke about Iron Banner. I'm guessing Iron Banner will drip feed weapons over the course of Season 2, at least make this next Iron Banner mayhem so we have a reason to play. DMG said, while there are plans to bring Mayhem back to the Crucible in Season 3, this cannot be applied to the Iron Banner at the end of this month. We still need to fix the Nova Bomb issue, amongst other work to bring the playlist back to rotation. Next week we'll outline the reward structure for Iron Banner. I'm currently getting info together from the team that make sure we properly set expectations. So presumably that will be in the Bungie update this week. We'll learn about the reward structure for the Iron Banner, and hopefully that means they're going to outline, what stuff is going to be available and how it's going to be available, as well as any, changes to the systems there, because that's one of the main reasons the faction rally really didn't go down well. People expected more content. People didn't expect what we got, essentially. So I am glad that they're going to communicate more of these changes, but I'm also hopeful that they're going to make the event appealing in terms of adding new stuff. But up here is an interesting one. Somebody asked Josh Hamrick, is there any chance we can see some buffs to the mobility stat? If not, could we have some insight on why having it affects sprint speed and could potentially break the game? I've heard some cool suggestions, like having it increase ADS speed or weapon ready or swap speeds as well. Player top speeds affect world loading and whatnot. This is why you hear us say we have to be careful with increasing it. Changing ADS speeds is possible, but it tends to mess people up when it's variable. We have and can do it though. Lots of things touch weapon ready and reload speeds. And Ninja with Noel, a Destiny streamer, said, out of curiosity regarding PvE in most cases, I'd imagine we travel on a Sparrow, which is faster than sprinting, yet world loading doesn't seem to be an issue. Definitely appreciate the insight, but trying to wrap my head around the issue with increased sprint speed. And somebody else said, pure speculation, I think the areas that you're allowed to Sparrow through have been designed taking this increased travel speed into account. Long winding corridors, areas where you're restricted from Sparrow use might not have been designed to allow you to travel that quickly, and Josh Hamrick said yep. So of course I'm not a game developer, I can't really speak to this technically, but it's a pretty interesting insight nonetheless, and I guess it does make sense that, movement speeds, ADS speeds, anywhere where you're kind of zooming in and changing, field of view potentially, graphics elements, changing the speed that you're moving, all of that kind of stuff, definitely has some complications, potentially justifies why some of these things may take a little bit of time and testing. But Chris Barrett did confirm that all of the development updates, the stuff that we saw inside of the various articles, will be free regardless of the DLC. So we confirmed this on Twitter. All of the features outlined in the development update will be free to all players, so I just wanted to clarify that. There is also an issue where the colony on PC won't actually track its projectiles. I believe it's if you're playing over 60 FPS. So just a quick update on that. DMG said that it won't make the January update, but it's on track for a future hotfix in February. So a whole bunch of interesting updates right there. Some of it is actually pretty useful information. And like I've said in the past, the reason I'm doing these videos, I know they can be kind of fragmented with all kinds of different stuff in them, but not everyone uses social media, and there are a lot of people and a lot of different conversations to track, so I'm just trying to kind of round all of it up in one place for you guys. Another thing I wanted to mention is the Prestige Eater of Worlds raid. So this is something Bungie actually haven't referred to whatsoever. We don't have any further information on when we can expect to see the Prestige Eater of Worlds raid. They did previously say that they wanted to improve prestige rewards across the board for the game, and this was something they were focusing on for early 2018, but in the more recent updates where they've actually outlined what's going to be happening, we haven't got any further clarification on specific prestige rewards. We do have new mods coming for raid pieces of gear, which we've got a lot to learn about still. We don't really know how they are going to shape or improve, loot inside of the raid necessarily. So perhaps, it's something that Bungie still plan to address a little bit further ahead. Maybe we will get it, after the January 30th update and it just hasn't been clarified yet. Of course, I will keep you guys posted as soon as we hear anything. One final thing I wanted to show you though, is that there are new Funko Pops coming for Destiny 2. So this is the full lineup on the screen right here. They're pretty awesome. Personally, I really like the Callus one right there. I've always really liked the raid boss Funkos that they've done in general, but if you are interested in them, they are going to be rolling out in the near future, so you can go search for them online and everything like that. But that's going to round up this video, guys. Just a bunch of stuff I thought you might find interesting and useful. If you've enjoyed the video, a like is very much appreciated below. Be sure to check out GameFlip in the description below if that sounds interesting to you, and you can use the code which also is in the description, and you'll get yourself $1 in GameFlip credits to get started. For now though, I appreciate you watching as always, guys. If you're new to the channel and you want to see more Destiny 2 content like this, then feel free to hit that subscribe button. But for now, whatever you do, have an awesome day.